Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Lurky, hi. Good to see you made it. Sorry, I'm in the middle of figuring out some. I need a file, and I'm looking for it so I can start all this stuff. And I just found it before stream started, and it was named wrong, so that's why I was having a hard time. I just need this so I can import it into Blender and we can get started on some growth stuff. Probably gets people trickling in, but if you're in the chat already, let me know how everything looks, how everything sounds. Is the music too loud, too soft? Can you hear me okay? So let's copy. Okay. I hope that's running okay. All right. So I needed this template so I can come into Blender and work on these these morphs for the different states of the mesh. So what I did just before, what I was working on just before stream started is I did the female version. The texture is the male texture, but this morph shape is the female. So you can see like difference between the female and the male. The male has a slightly larger sail, and this like bump on the forehead here is smaller. So that's what that is. And then I'm going to start working on the growth stages now. We'll see how far we get. I'm not really sure. It's been a while since I've done the growth stages for the Eocarcharia, and that process was kind of strange to me. And not strange, just that it's new, you know? I haven't had to do that for very many game meshes before, so still kind of learning. What do I need to do? I need to import my reference. And also, I have to sculpt in Blender, which is pretty new to me still. And to compound that, right? I just updated to a newer version of Blender, so it's mostly the same, but there's a few things that are kind of different, and it's just enough different to kind of throw me off a little bit. So, have patience. Hi, Striga, how's it going? Let's turn this off. Okay. So I got my ref here and back. And now I gotta make the changes to the actual mesh. This is gonna be a little bit better than what I was doing with the Eocarcharia, because at least now I have like a map. Like I went through, I did the time, you know, here to make this this roadmap for the different stages in the growth cycle. So that's gonna help me a lot. Because when I was doing the Eocarcharia, I was just kind of like winging it, you know, which was kind of, I don't really like to do that. I like to have a plan. So it's a good thing we got this plan here. So we're going to work on the subadult. Subadult is a lot like the female version in that it doesn't have the big crest area. Let me make sure we're on. Yeah. And it has a smaller sail. One thing to keep in mind when I'm working on this too is like the shape of the model is going to change in my scene, but the size of the model is not going to change. They're gonna take care of the size of the model in game. So you know, you think of like a baby Ouranosaurus as being small, and it will be small. But I'm not going to scale the mesh in here because I have to make sure that it lines up with the rig that they have. And if I scale the mesh and not the rig at the same time, it causes lots of problems. So that's one thing that you probably won't see today. You'll just have to imagine it growing, you know. So that's quick. This one's quick because it's not very different. I'm always super nervous about working in Blender because I don't know. It's just kind of, sculpting in Blender because I just don't trust it as much as I do ZBrush, so I'm pretty cautious. The tail doesn't change very much. It's just these two areas for the subadult. So you can see how that sail grows, the crest grows. Pretty good. How did I do this last time? I think. Let me save this. Trigga, going pretty good yourself. I'm doing pretty well. Week's been going good so far. Nothing crazy. Just an average week, which is alright with me. Okay. So, what do we do now? We need to do the... What would it be called? Subadult Juvie, and then Hatchling, I think is what we're calling them. I think. So we're just gonna call this Juvie. So one. And then I need to yeah, sugar. I didn't come up with the names. I'm just like following the formula, you know. They make sense though. I think they make sense. It's just trying to remember exactly what it is. Okay. I think that's lined up okay. Kivashtra, how's it going? I've been doing good. Doing well, I should say. No worries. If you're working, that's cool. Are you gonna be working and watching, or are you like at work? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's painful. Not getting your sleep can be a real... I remember when I was in college, I was not very good at maintaining a good sleep schedule. Like, I was honestly pretty horrible. Like days, you know. I think my max was like 3 days out without sleep, or like very, very minimal sleep. Maybe a couple hours during the span of those. And it was not great. And even after that, I would still like not get my full 8 hours of sleep, you know. It hasn't been until, you know, the past 3 or 4 years that I've been really like diligent about getting my sleep. And man, it's gotten to the point where I'm so set into my sleep schedule now that like if I stay up 1 hour later, the next morning is like horrible. Like I can really feel the change, you know. And it's like the same the other way around. Like if I sleep in an hour, I feel awful too. Like it really, like I feel very sluggish and just like not well when I sleep in. So I guess it's a good thing and bad thing. I got used to a certain sleep schedule, but now I'm not very good at. I can't really get out of it, you know. What am I doing? I need to. I'm scaling up the head slightly because as these babies get younger, they are going to, their proportions change. It's a process called, I think it's called encephalization. Basically, it's why like very young animals, generally it's mammals, but some reptiles and birds have this as well. It's why they have big heads, and that's why they look cute. Like they have the big heads, big eyes. It's because of this process. As they mature, they change. So I'm gonna give this one slightly. This is gonna go almost completely away, and then his eyes are gonna get much bigger. Not much bigger, but slightly bigger. They'll be biggest in the hatchling stage. Oh man. I'm at work and sneaking in to check up on y'all. Been also been working on my Ouranosaurus skin. Currently doing a zebra take. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I saw those. They're looking pretty good so far. So here on this, I think I need to scale up the eye. And then the eye socket needs to scale as well. See how we do that. Only wanted to focus in on this eye, this area here. So I'm going to use this proportional editing thing. And then we'll move it down slightly. That there. hope that worked. Yeah, it kind of did, but I had these vertices here selected, so that sucks. Get rid of those. I'll do it again. Look at it from the front. It's okay to me. Wonder why. Okay, let me check something. So this is the Juvie state, right? We should get a transition between those two. I think that's how it's supposed to work. I hope so. It would be cool if I could see it like actually change scale while we're doing it, but yeah, that's not something I can do. So this would go to subadult, and then the subadult would go to adult here. Okay. That was fairly quick. We're gonna probably do... There's certain limitations with what I can do and what I can do. Because it's bound to an existing... This is how I understand it. Because it's bound to an existing armature, and the armature is for essentially the adult. There's certain things I can scale and mess around with, and there's certain things that will just totally screw up the animations and stuff. So I can make it look like a infant dinosaur to a degree. We'll do our best. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be Hatchling. One of the boundaries that I can't really cross is the total length of the animal is going to be like relatively the same, which is why I'm scaling up the drawing to the tail tip and the nose tip. Proportions of the limbs don't change. The other thing that is interesting, I suppose, about baby hadrosaurs is their proportions. Their faces change a lot, but the proportions of their like limbs to their body don't change too much. At least that's what I was reading. If it was like a theropod, depending on the theropod, like a baby T-Rex goes through like some crazy changes as it ages. But these the hadrosaurs aren't as drastic. We have the Juvie, and then next is the... Actually, before I keep on moving, I'm gonna open up the Eocarcharia and make sure I'm doing this right. Because I don't want to go through all this trouble making this and then realize that I did it the wrong way and then, you know. This one? No, it's not that one. This is what the Eocarcharia's low poly look like, by the way. That's how it started. Very blocky. But that's not what I need. Okay. Juvie, Hatchling. Turn these all on. Okay, so get this armature out of my way. So the subadult goes here. Juvie. I believe that's right. Hatchling. He looks kind of crazy because his eyes aren't adjusting. The texture doesn't adjust with the eyes, so. Okay. So I think I might have. Those eyes are terrifying. Yeah, the texture would scale with it, so it wouldn't look so bug-eyed. I think what I'm doing is not quite right. It's not quite right. work on the Juvie again. Because they're kind of like independent of each other. And what I have set up now is like, they're like overlapping too much is what the deal is. Let me double check that. Because like this is there's no like overlap with the previous. It goes from adult straight to the Juvie or the hatchling stage. The slider controls that. This is fine. So yeah, I need to do that. So it's not too big a deal, but it's good that I caught it now. So basically I shouldn't have the previous stage of growth on while I'm working on the next stage. That's the rule I gotta remember. So this eye is fine. This it's a little bit kind of irritating because that means I have to redo some of the work that I've done from previous stages, like kind of again. I have to resculpt the same areas multiple times, but it's better to do that than to do it completely wrong. I'm just looking up how to blur a mask really quick. Let's see how this works. Does this actually control how smooth it looks? Doesn't look like it's changing anything. Well, hold on. This is bad. This is what I need. I was sculpting to the wrong ref. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. I was gonna freak out there for a second. So we got Juvie. The mouth doesn't need as much adjustment now because I'm actually using the right ref, so it makes sense. I think it's the sail that needs the most change. Let me see. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so that's where it should be, I think. Get out of sculpt mode. Then we'll check here. So the sub-adult should go from adult to sub-adult. Yep. And this should go... Yep. And then this should have its own thing. I wish there were some way to like not have to redo some of this work here. Do I literally have to? Can I duplicate this? I wonder. What that is. I really can't wait to play the game. Probably going to be a hardcore dino player, but I might also join a tribe if enough people have a good village going. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. I didn't think about that aspect of it. Like, the fact that you could have like whole villages of people while dinosaurs are actually roaming around too. That's pretty crazy. Just double checking again. Okay. Well, we will just start sculpting then, if that's actually the way we need to do it. Set this to 1. And then here we go. Select the eye again. I think I need to look into this for future stuff, because this can't be the most efficient way to go about this stuff. But we'll go through the paces for now. This eye is gonna get really big. It's gonna look super bug-eyed. Smooth this out. And we'll start modifying the profile of this beak. Where was it? Grab. Okay. Now this needs to go way down here. It's basically going to be, it's going to look like he doesn't have a sail at all. Okay. See how that looks from a solid view. It's probably, yeah, so I need to fill in that area just a little bit. Maybe a smoothing will work. 'Cause I don't want that ridge there. Turn this down lots. Am I turning down? Let's see. I need the smoothing brush. Smooth. Tone it down a lot. This method of selecting brushes is new, by the way. At least based, from the version that I upgraded from to this. Like before, all the brushes were on the side here. Now a few of them are on the bottom. I'm assuming you can tailor this to like whatever brushes you want, but I have no idea how to change this yet. So I'm kind of just dealing with it right now. Anyone who knows how to use ZBrush for sculpting who's watching this is probably like screaming at me. But I do what I can. I want like a clay brush, clay strips. That's a little bit strong there. Okay. It's so weird because, I mean, I think control is to subtract. Yeah, control is to subtract, and in ZBrush it's Alt, so I'm like clicking Alt or holding Alt thinking it's doing something and it's not doing anything. Loving the models. With the truth. Thank you. Thanks. Hatchling stew for dinner. I think it's going to be a little bit sad to see one of these guys like hanging from the mouth of some theropod in the game. But at the same time, the dino's got to eat. I think there'll be quite a few, you know, Carcaria babies who have been stomped by some Ouranos on the other side of things, though. So maybe it evens out. Okay, so I smoothed the back, and now it's like it's too low. So I need to bring that back up just a little bit. I kind of like how low it was there, but split the difference. That would be the Hatchling. Okay. I think that's gonna work. I'll send it over to everyone for review. I wish, like I said, the from what I've read, what I looked at, the hadrosaur proportions of the baby hadrosaurs, their faces change a lot, but not the body. Like the leg proportions don't really do all that much. Like we could probably go and make him try to make him like super cute. And if we were to do that, I would make his feet bigger and stuff like that. But they're, you know, one thing to remember is they're not mammals. Like they don't get those. Some of them don't get those like puppy like proportions. So I don't know. There's the impulse to try and do that, but at the same time, it might not be very accurate to do that. The eyes can get bigger, I think. But let me see. Maybe it's not the eye so much as the eyelid can get a little less eyelid can be wider, bigger. more open. And then like more round. I really wish my allergies would calm down. I suppose that's what they are, allergies. I am not otherwise sick, but I keep on sneezing. It's happened the past 2 times I've streamed too. This one and over the weekend. Something like that, maybe? See what it looks like with the texture on. I mean, he has the fully like mature texture. We're gonna have a different texture for the hatchlings too. So they're gonna get like very like. I wonder if I have the concept for that up here someplace. I don't know if I have them. I have to look those up. They're not super different. Like they're mostly like desaturated, or they have like a lack of markings basically. But I'll have to look it up because I do need to get those skins going as well. Okay, well, we'll keep on going. I think this looks good. He's pretty pudgy, I think, which kind of lends towards the cuteness of him, I suppose. Lurky, does the skin scale with the mesh? Yes. Well, the skin changes with the mesh. Like when they're very young, they're gonna have like they won't have their adult markings basically. This is how I understand it. So when they're very young, they won't have these like mature markings on them, and as they grow up, they'll their skin will change. Not like a ton. It's not going to be super drastic as far as I know, but they will get slightly different coloration. How long did that take me to do? Like an hour. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. I didn't know if I was actually going to finish that, before the end of stream, so that's actually pretty cool. What can we do now? What happened to this? Why'd you turn all weird? Oh, this is the high poly mesh. Turn that off. The adult mesh back here. Okay. What could we do? What could we do? Well, I have a rig in here. Is this actually rigged? That's not. We could do the start of some nice, like, just renders to show off the model that we could use for, like, presentation and stuff. I don't really have a ton of other, like, texture work to do. I have to double check the Juvie, like the Hatchling skins, so I don't know if I can do that right now. So yeah, we'll just kind of mess around, have fun with some posing, see if we can get some cool presentation renders for this. What can we do? I'm gonna save this out as a different file because I don't want to mess with this. Let's hope I remember what all this means when I come back in the future to look at all this stuff. Okay. So thinking about a good pose. Probably should have changed the pivot point of that. Let me see if I can change it really quick. So I'm thinking just a nice, like, maybe walking pose. Not something too action-y. Maybe it's like in the middle of its herd and it's like calling out to something. It's got its mouth open a little bit. Maybe it's vocalizing something not too crazy. Partially because I'm not like a master like rigger, so my rig is pretty rudimentary. I want to tilt him just a little bit. So that way his left leg is going to be bearing the weight of his body. So that leg, it's kind of like dinosaur contrapposto. You guys are familiar with that. A little bit of tilt. His jaw. I think I misaligned his jaw a little bit. I need to give him something to stand on. Probably give him a nice cylinder, nice stage. I'm gonna take out, I just want the top part of this. Just want the top part. Try to center it on him. And then this edge. What is going on here? that. I just want to make like a, I don't know what photographers call it. It's like that infinite background sort of thing. It's basically just like a curved surface in the back that has no like visible, it doesn't have like a visible crease where the edge of the ground plane stops and the wall starts. It's just a nice curved surface. And eventually it goes all the way vertical, but then we'll add subdiv this. The rendered version will go pretty high, but this will stay keep it smooth. I have this camera here. What? Hey, Bun Bun. Just we wrapped up the what is it called? The growth series for this guy, and with the time that we have now, I'm just gonna like play around with some poses, some like presentation render type stuff. Maybe the guys can use it, the team can use it for like just showing off the models or something, who knows. I'm kind of there is a little bit more texture work to do on the juvenile forms of the models, but other than that, I'm pretty much done. So I don't have a ton more to do, and I don't have all that much to move on to either. So we're kind of just having fun with some posing, play with some good light. Just have some fun, like seeing what the model can look like. power up. Actually get some light in the scene. Maybe that pose, because I like this camera angle here, like this. But the head needs to be turned more. And the light needs to be coming from the other side, but we need more light anyway, so let's flip this around. Something like this. And then so I like to block out when I'm posing stuff. I like to block out the general pose of what I want and just kind of double check that stuff is going to work. And then when I start to settle into something that's working, I will go back in and really start to fine tune like everything. Like all making sure all the toes are like contacting the ground properly. All that like more fiddly stuff. Taking care of little adjustments to the silhouette, things like that. And then the lighting probably takes the longest to figure out. So like with this, I don't want the fingers, I don't want them to look just like mittens, you know, they need to have some sort of curvature to them. I probably should have put a bone in here for this big spike thumb, but I didn't. If we absolutely want, if I feel like I need it, need more control, then I can put that in there later. Check the silhouette from the side. I kind of like the tail tip to bend down just a little bit. Just kind of how I'm feeling right now. And let's check the camera. backdrop back on. I'm gonna save. And see what the lights look like. Okay. So now, let's get out of pose mode. I think this backdrop needs to be darker and more, like, less reflective. Or we could go super reflective. Like he's standing on glass or something. I don't know. I think a lot of I've seen a lot of renders like that. I mean, I would like to get him in like a setting, like a forest or something, but that would probably take way too long. I need a light to catch his face on this side. Be a spotlight. What do we got? We need to increase the intensity of this. And then probably I just wanted to focus on the face specifically. I don't really need it to catch anything else. Because I want a nice separation. Oh my gosh, I keep zooming in. I need to disable this. I want a nice separation from on this edge of the head here. And it's separating decently, I think, but could be a little bit better. This is getting nice and illuminated. And then, like, so paying attention to the silhouette. And then trying to, if there's anything overlapping another form on the object, trying to separate that so that they're clearly readable. So like the head separates from the sail, but you see where this leg, they cross here, they kind of merge together here, and I don't really think that's great. So I'm gonna add another light to catch the edge of this foreground leg. So that way it pops from the back leg more. And then we could do something kind of cool, like we duplicate that collection, right? And then we come over, return. Oh, is it just because it's overlapping? Yeah, it's overlapping. I got worried that the textures broke or something. Get these out of the... No! This to be to the side here. We have... Yeah, we put the hatchling proportions on there. And then we adjust this pose. I don't actually know how big the hatchling is going to end up being compared to the adult. Maybe even smaller than that. I don't know. I'm just trying to make them look kind of cute. Let's check that out. Let's see how that looks. That's pretty cool. Once we get the other texture in here for the baby, it's gonna look a lot better, I think. So right now he has the adult texture on. I'm going to set this up, but I don't think I'm actually going to render it today. Because if I try to render while that's not going to be fun to watch, because it's just going to be like a loading bar going up. And it's probably going to screw up the stream, so I probably won't try to do that. But maybe next time I'll show off what I ended up doing with all these guys posed out like this. Better if it's closer, maybe. That. Then he gets too close to that. We'll put the baby closer. How about that? The baby closer. I feel like my mouse is like the cursor is like sticking to parts of the screen. Does that make sense? I don't know what's going on. Why don't you turn it on? On. What's difficult is maybe separating these two now, because we got the baby and it's overlapping the parent. I think that's looking pretty cool. One thing that I like to do is I like to add a lot more contrast just with these settings here. Yeah, I wonder, maybe I can use some sort of texture or something on the background so it's not so plain. And then, let me see. Save this out. Maybe some other HDRI help. I mean, that background. Try out a few different options. Ooh, that kind of looks cool. I don't know why it turned it purple, but that looks cool. I think it complements the skin tones pretty well of that skin in particular. Is that this mossy forest? Oh, that turns it blue. That one's nice as well. Was this one the purple one? Oh, that's night. Trying out a few different options, I guess. That looks nice. Maybe this HDRI. I'm wondering what else I could do. You could probably mess around with like some volumetrics. You get a bit of fog or something in the background. But I think that I'm kind of worried that's going to tax stuff too much. I would definitely do that later. But I don't want the computer to chug too much. Okay. Let me check it from a few different... That's gonna look pretty cool. Just seeing these guys finally walking in the game, and then seeing the size differences between the adults and the hatchlings. I imagine they're gonna be pretty small too. Well, I don't know for sure. But these, like, real hatchlings would be extremely tiny. Like, at this point, this one would probably be maybe a year or two old, I would estimate. At that size. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna actually end the stream a little bit early, because I think we're fairly caught up with what we need to do on the Urano, and I don't want to like start spilling over. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna be doing on Wednesdays, because the Urano, the Eocarcharia are starting to get wrapped up as far as textures and stuff go. The Purosaurus still has a ways to go, but we're reserving that for Saturdays. So yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with Islander and see what we can do on Wednesdays. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, watching me do this. I didn't realize we were gonna speed through that so much. I thought it was gonna take me much longer. But yeah. Check in with me on Wednesday, and on Saturday we're going to be doing more work on the Purosaurus. We're going to probably be texturing that guy at that point, or like baking, like getting everything ready for the textures. And we'll get going on Purosaurus as well. So a lot of these meshes, a lot of these dinos are starting to get pretty close to being wrapped up. So pretty excited, and we'll see what we move on to next. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. See you later.